Hi. Today I have a question. You too must have heard many versions of it. I've been on this healing journey for many years. In fact, I've learned many modalities. But I find myself going in circle or in loops. Am I really progressing or am I stuck and fooling myself? Sounds familiar? Let's talk about it. First of all, you have to understand that healing journey is not linear. It goes like a spiral. You might come across that same issues again and again, but each time you're able to deal with them better. You're able to understand them better and give responses which are more aligned to your soul or more empowered. If you find yourself, however, that you're not able to change your behavior, respond better to life situations, or your health, your career, or relationships are not moving in the direction you would like them to be, then yes, chances are you are not on the right path. Or maybe you're using wrong methodologies to approach the subject. First, a very common mistake which people do is to not take onus of the situation. We blame others on the problems of our life, be our spouse, be our career, be our bosses. Understand that even if it's your parents, we chose them in a life script. We choose everyone. So we have chosen them to learn something. Are you learning? Are you able to change yourself? Or are you waiting for them to change? Or crib or blame them or try and manipulate them to change? If you are doing the latter, then probably you are rightly going in the loops. So, what can you do about it? First thing is to take responsibility of your life choices. We get empowered by making empowered choices, by making different choices, by learning to see a life from a different perspective, from a higher perspective. For doing that, a connection with a spirit guide, a soul guide is very important. When people come to us for healing or a session, we ensure that in at least in one or two sessions, we help them connect with their spirit guides. What happens that when they connect with the spirit guides, they have a ready reference to their daily choices. They can discuss with them how to navigate their life about small, big issues and situations. So they're constantly moving because a spirit guide can always tell us, like a therapist, that this is where you're doing wrong, and this is where you're doing right. So you learn to navigate gradually on your own and trust your intuition, your inner wisdom more. Because chances are we can often get blindsided by our own dysfunctions and miss the intuition, miss the inner wisdom which is coming to us to apply in any given situations. Because after all said and done, we grow through life choices by changing our karma. If that is not changing, we are stuck. Now let's talk about what are the right tools we can use to grow. One very good tool that we suggest in inner journeys is inner child healing, because most of our behavioral dysfunctions come from our childhood experiences. But many people wonder that years have passed, the childhood is long over, but still we continue to grapple with issues which are coming from childhood. That is why it is important to first become aware of the issues. Once you become aware of the issue, there are many methodologies to become aware. The most important one which we suggest is mindfulness. Once we become aware of the issues that we have, then we can do something about it. And then next important tool is shadow work. Shadow work helps us figure out, go beyond the blind spots that we have in our subconscious, in our behavior, so that we do not repeat the loops that we are in. What people get stuck in is usually their own shadow projections and shadows. So, there, shadow work is a very important tool. And yes, it will come again and again till you've learned the lesson completely, till you've learned to respond to a situation in an empowered way. Then the lesson is complete. By blaming others, you only get stuck in the loop. People are not the problem, nor is their behavior. It is we have to grow. A lot of people get stuck because they refuse to forgive people who have harmed them. But the problem is that is again a thing which keeps us stuck. They have harmed us and they have moved on. And it is in our benefit to forgive and move on because it is we who are getting stuck. They are living good life. So, my friend, my advice is forgive and move on. It is difficult. But most difficult thing to forgive is our own bad choices of the past. That is where it is important to be kind and compassionate towards our younger self. Today we are wise, we have suffered the consequences, but our younger self, maybe it's 5 years ago or 2 weeks ago, did not know it. And we can be a little compassionate about it. So the question is, can we be kind and compassionate towards ourselves? Because when we practice that, then we begin to heal. Because ultimately, it is self love which heals it. There's no way around it. No amount of talk therapy will help you learn the important lesson of self love. Self love is self care, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial. Every dimension is important for us. Like in healing, every chakra is important. We have to address issues of every chakra to have holistic healing. If you're using only mindfulness to change our behavior, it can be a long and tedious process. Another good tool to help us is hypnosis. In hypnotherapy, we learn to go into a subconscious mind where all our behavior patterns are there. We find the origin and heal it. And then we retrain our mind to give better responses to similar stimuli. So we learn to respond to life better gradually. When we retrain our mind, like people come for learning peak performance in sports or stage performances or public speaking, hypnotherapy can be a very good tool to plant new behaviors, new healthy behaviors in a subconscious mind. So, in the conscious life, in the practical life, they become easier to practice because we already have a reference point in a subconscious mind. Similarly, we use this technique in habit control in handling addictions. So, hypnotherapy can be a very good asset in gradually developing the skill sets within us of better response to same life stimuli. Some of our clients who are really growing and working on themselves often come to us with issues which they have worked upon, and then we guide them towards better solution, better place. Sometimes shadow work helps, sometimes inner child healing, sometimes past life regression helps because sometimes some behavioral patterns are coming from the unconscious mind, which is from a past life. So we don't have any conscious knowledge of them. That's another tool. Some people find great wisdom in an LBL session, which is life between life, where we plan the current lifetime and understand what is the purpose of this lifetime and what are the life lessons. As long as we are aware of the life lesson and we operate on the macro level and we are not getting stuck on the micro level on day to day things, we are on the path. Because our life purpose is something which guides us through the journey of life. Be mindful about it. There is no way around it. Don't get stuck in the belief that this person has done me wrong, that person has done me wrong. How do I get back at them? How do I overcome them? Our life purpose is more important than anything which has happened to us. That is our responsibility to honor our life purpose, no matter what difficulty, no matter what suffering we are going through. That much we owe to ourselves, to our soul, who has sometimes taken such difficult life script, difficult lessons to learn. So, if we are aware, we will learn them. Otherwise, as you suggested, we will go in loop. Life situations will keep repeating again and again. Then there's one more thing which blocks our growth in inner work. That is karmic blocks. If we have the karma to grow, we will grow. How? Because a lot of people come to us that have meditated and worked on myself for 40 years or 30 years, 50 years, but nothing has happened. Why? because they didn't have the requisite karma. Those are the people we guide them towards seva, towards selfless service, so that they have adequate karma to grow, to mature. There's no way around it. If we don't have the karma, we will not find the right doctor or the right medicine, and even if the right medicine is there, it will not work for us. We hear so many cases about it. So, karmic healing is that why is the first tool we suggest to people. When we karmically are on a clear ground, then behavioral issues, behavioral techniques can be applied to work on ourselves, like inner child healing, like shadow work, like LBL, and so many modalities like parts therapy, so that then we can work on ourselves to become more aware, to become more conscious. So, the bottom part is the unconscious mind, patterns coming from there, blocks coming from there, and then subconscious mind above it, where we have childhood memories, our behavior templates, which have learned from parents. We have to work on them gradually over the years so we can unlearn them. Yes, learning is important. Often, what happens that a childhood is over, but we perpetuate the patterns by behaving as our parents behave towards us. If our parents gaslighted us, we continue to gaslight ourselves, to deny our reality, to suppress ourselves, to reject ourselves, to abandon ourselves. So parents are not to be blamed here. They did the best as per their pedigree, their upbringing, their childhood, their traumas. So it is upon us to understand we can break the generational trauma by choosing to become aware and using the right tool to work upon ourselves, to heal, to recover our wisdom and our innocence and our light. All the best.